Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It's 12:30. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Tech Tuesday. And on today, we want to talk about, by the way, we are recording this session for others who requested to record. And today, we're going to talk about streaming, live streaming in Zoom. And we're going to show you some basic features of how to get started with live streaming in Zoom. Let me get Zoom started here. Stop this. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen here, and we'll go ahead and do this. Let's see here. Okay, so this is my Zoom screen. So when you get into Zoom, there are, if you look at the bottom menu, down at the right corner, you see more, and you'll see a few options there. You see live on Facebook, live on Workplace by Facebook, YouTube, and custom streaming service. So there is, you could go to either one of these, but you can't do more than one at a time from what I'm understanding and what my experience has been. So if you have a group page on Facebook, we're going to show you how to live stream from your Zoom meeting into that or onto YouTube. If you want to reach more than one site at a time, to go to three to four different sites, you can use other platforms like Restream or Caster, and I can show you some of that as well. Just as a heads up, even though we are live streaming these events, you are still to be responsible for the live captioning of your event. So you may want to take some time when you're prepping and make sure that you consider that. There is a couple different ways that you can do it. If you being the host, you can click on closed caption and you can assign someone in your session to be the captioner, and they will have to be on it and just pretty much type everything you say, or you can hire a third party service to do the captioning for you within your Zoom meeting or your WebEx meeting as well. In this case, it's on Zoom, but you will want to make sure that you have some sort of captions going on and they're as accurate as possible. There is a live captioning feature in Facebook that I've been using quite a bit now, but I'm not certain as if not certain as how accurate they are. I've seen some do really well and then others not so well. So just be aware of that. So you may want to make sure that to test that out ahead of time. So let's get started. So let's hit more, and we want to go live on Facebook. Okay, now I'm gonna go here to my other page here. It's going to redirect me. I'm already logged into Facebook, and it's going to redirect me. And it's going to ask me to choose where you want to post your live video. Now, let me warn you of this. I do, since the pandemic and before, I do live streaming probably 6 or 7 times a week, if not more, with various churches throughout Eastern North Carolina, especially on the weekends and stuff. Facebook is constantly changing. Every time you see an update on your phone in the GUI, know that the back end of Facebook has changed as well. So it can be a little frustrating. So if you start seeing now that you're starting to get into the back end of things, you may see things that don't look the same all the time. So just know that's just how Facebook's work. So you have to get used to that. So if you're going live on your personal page, you can simply hit share the news feed, but we're not going live on my personal page. So we're going to go to our group page or our department page or whatever you have. So I want to click this arrow here, and I have a few more options. I can share on a friend's timeline, similar to other posts. I can share in a group, I can share in an event, or I can share on a page that I manage. So I'm going to click on share on the page that I manage, and I manage a pile of pages. So you're going to see a lot of them here, but I could pick which of these pages that I want to share my a Zoom event on. So I'm gonna go to the Division of Information Technology, just since it's a public page, and we're gonna be posting as. So you have an option here. If you want to post as yourself, you just click on your profile. But if you want to, if you were admin of that page, you could set yourself to post, and your post show as it comes from that page. So I want to post as the UNCP Division of Information Technology. I want to click next. And they have simplified this even more since the last few times we've been testing this. So a lot of this is done in the background. And so once you give Zoom permissions to access your page, a lot of this is pretty straightforward. And it does take a little bit to redraw and to set up doing all the things in the background. Okay, so you're just going to see my name right here. And please, if anyone, I forgot to mention that if you have any questions or something like that, just simply unmute your microphone or send us in the chat message, and I'll do my very best to try to answer your questions on that. But if I have my camera on, you would see my video here. If I had other people in this session, you would see it here. Since I'm using my camera in WebEx, I don't want to kind of confuse my system here. So this is where you'll see all the common information that your viewers are seeing. And if I scroll down, I have a few options here. I can use this URL, which everything is self-explanatory here. So you could just have one URL to all of your live events. And for this, you have 3 different options here for going live on Facebook. We can use the stream key, which is what we're going to be using today. We can use a camera if I have a webcam on my computer, or we can use a paired encoder. Since we are using Zoom to be our streaming platform, we want to make sure that this stays connected here. Okay. And the rest of it is going to be pretty much straightforward for this particular instance, since we're using Zoom. So over to the left here, you want to go in and you could title your event. And you can give it a description if you desire. And Facebook has added this option a few months ago where you can cross post to more pages. So if you are the admin of multiple pages, you can, that allows you to send one link to multiple pages. I haven't successfully done that yet. One reason I don't have a need to get it, so I haven't checked it too hard, but I do know others can do it. So if they manage a page, you have to go on that other page and give it permission to share amongst those pages. I know it works. I just haven't done it as of yet. So you want to go ahead and give your description. We're going to leave all of these settings pretty much the same, and we could do it as a test broadcast. This is really cool. So when you're testing out your captions and all of this, you could test it out here, set a couple of your group members as admins, and they will be the only ones that will see your test post there. So now we want to go live. And again, this is once you allow this process to happen, you may get a couple pop-ups before that saying Zoom will like permission to go live on your Facebook page, and you have to give it the permission. And yeah, so you can see it takes a few seconds, so don't freak out when it does that. And earlier, when I was rehearsing for this session, it took a little bit longer than that. So as you can see, we are now live on the UNCP Division of Information Technology page. Now, all of my admin, they will probably get an alert on their device or phone saying James Lewis is live on Zoom here. And as you can see, this puts it in the news feed as well. And whatever's happening in my Zoom session, all my audio and video will be translated through here. Okay, so that's how we want to do it in Zoom, in Facebook. Now, when my session is over, I can go back to Zoom here. And if I look on my left-hand side here at the top left, you see I got a drop down menu, and I can hit stop live stream. So don't do like I did earlier, just kill your whole session by hitting end. You want to make sure that you hit stop live stream first if you're going to stay in your session. And then see, somebody's already, Miss Lori is already on it. Wonderful. So if I go to the UNCP Division of Technology page, see if it's going. You'll see it'll create a recording of that video, and that'll stay on my page as well. Okay, so now let's go back, and we're going to go to YouTube. Now, let me tell you this too. Again, I am live streaming 6 to 10 more times than you would probably want to know on social media every week, right? So when YouTube makes a change, or when Facebook makes a change, the other one makes a change, and it gets to be kind of confusing. So you really need to, I guess in other words, what I'm saying is, don't make sure you plan your session well, okay, and practice. Don't think you could just jump on and do your event really quick. Sometimes that may happen, but I'm telling you from experience, you will get fooled, and that's just how it works. Facebook and YouTube is constantly updating their GUI, their platform, making it better in some states, and to me, it's making it worse. There's another big update that's coming to Facebook in a few weeks. That's going to be around the Creative Studio, and the Creative Studio is kind of taking on the instance of YouTube Studio, where we could go in, and I'm trying to take you some of that now. YouTube has created this whole link now, this whole setup where you can go in, edit your videos, trim your videos, see all sorts of analytics on your videos, or whatever you want to do. And Facebook is bringing that to theirs. Now, if you can be an early adopter of that and go ahead on and start playing around in that if you desire. But a lot of that for the general public, they probably don't even know anything about it unless you're just the one that, just like me, that just has a lot of media going on. But YouTube is the same way. YouTube is constantly updating. They did a big update this year that kind of throws everything off. So if you see me going around to multiple places, that's what it is. Some of these updates I'm still learning myself. And there's different ways to get around to do the same thing. Right. So if I'm just live streaming from my YouTube channel, I can quickly go to live, and I can do a couple settings and stream right from my webcam. Right. Or if I have a video camera and such. But so now they have this whole interface page, where earlier this year, before the pandemic, this pretty much wasn't here. You had to do this in another location, right? So and also it took 24 hours for you to create your page, and now you could do it instantly. But let's go back to Zoom, and we want to go to more. And then we want to click on live on YouTube. Remember, we can only do one platform at a time. So if your group wants to go to some of the popular ones, especially the young people, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and some others, you're going to have a third-party program to do that. And I'll show you that in a second. So we're going to go to live on YouTube. All right. Again, we have to go in and select our account. I probably have 20 different YouTube accounts. So I'm going to select the one that I want to stream to. And you may see me do this a couple of times, because I had my personal YouTube channel is old, and they used to give you had to identify yourself in a total different way back in the day than you do now. So I'm setting it up here, and I already gave the permission. So you're probably going to have a couple pop-up windows that you didn't see on mine. So I can set it where I want it to be public, private, unlisted. Another thing is I haven't been successful. So like if you have it set on private, and you don't want it to go out into the entire world, you're supposed to be able to get a link, share that link privately with somebody, and they only can see it. Sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't. So make sure you decide how you want to do it. If it's something public and private, or something private that you don't want the world to see, you may want to reconsider doing it on YouTube. But anyway, we're going to keep it public for now, and we want to go live. And as you can see, it streamlines just like it does in Facebook. There's not a lot of clicks for you to do anymore. It sets everything up, but it may ask you for permission again. And so if it does, just go ahead on and get it. And let me warn you as of this as well, prep you. If your computer is slow or your computer has a lot of issues, you do not want to do live streaming on that machine. Live streaming takes up a lot of resources. And once you are live streaming on that machine, you do not need to be doing a whole lot of other things in addition to the live stream, because it uses up a lot of resources. So make sure your computer is good on that. So now we are live on YouTube, just that simple. We don't have to do all of this extra stuff anymore. And then if we wanted to share that link, we can share it here. Just copy and paste and send it in the text and the email. Or also if we go back to Zoom, we can view the streaming link and we can copy the link here. This is what I want to show you. Paste it in an email or send it to others. And this is a way to reach the world on that. Now, so far as, let me jump back to captions on the live stream on YouTube. I have not seen live streaming events with captions, auto captions yet. I hear that's coming, but I have not seen that as of yet. Now, once you record your event, and your event is over, after a certain period of time, you can tell YouTube to auto caption the event, the on-demand piece, your video, and then you can go back and edit that. But I have not seen where the captions are live on YouTube. So, remember, again, you're going to have to either sign that job, that privilege to somebody, or use a third party. Okay, so that's basically it, how you set up to go to YouTube. And we want to stop live stream again. And this is such a blessing, you guys, because months ago, none of this was here. You had to go through a lot more steps to get this process done. So things are getting better. Now, another thing, let me kind of warn you on this again, just from my experience. We talked about your computer, but there's one thing I left out. Don't use a dated computer. All right. So if your computer is about 8 to 10 years old and you can't upload it to the latest update operating system or close to that and keep your browser update, you may not want to use it for live streaming. Why? Because browsers require plugins, HTML5, and all this other kind of coding that some of the older platforms and operating systems can't handle. So you will find issues there. So make sure you keep your machine current and using something fairly new within the last 2 to 3, maybe 4 years. But also always test ahead of time before you get there. So let's go to another option for the live stream. Let's go to more. And this live on Workplace by Facebook, this is kind of an enterprise piece where I'm still learning it. Facebook is kind of a few years ago, I think it was 2015, started beta testing a workplace for businesses and groups and things like that didn't have all of the kiddie stuff that's on the general page of Facebook. I haven't used it a lot yet, so I can't speak to a lot of that yet. So I'm gonna come back to that later in another session. But let's go to live on custom streaming service right here, and it's going to open up another thing in our browser. So how live streaming works is you have what you call a streaming key and a streaming URL. And there's another thing that we're going to talk about that. And I want to show you what some of this is. So let me see if I can go here really quick. Just give you a quick example of what some of that would look like. Some funky numbers. So you could use other programs to do your live or to interface with Zoom. I'm not going to get too far in the weeds because it can get really confusing really fast. But I'm going to go to, and you don't have to worry about this part. This is my streaming page on YouTube now, where I could go in and get the information that I'm going to show you. So I can see here, I can get my streaming key. You have to be careful with that because you don't want everybody to see that, to use that, but you can reset it and all of that. So I could just copy that here and put my streaming key here and this. Now this is, I know we just came off YouTube, but if this is another place, let's just say this is something on my personal website. So you put your streaming key here, and you will copy your stream URL here, which is just a general area that it points to. So this is like an address that your streaming servers would point to, and you would put all that information here, and then hit go live, and then Zoom will stream live to that particular platform. Okay, so let's go to Caster, and Caster is a paid service that I use to stream to more than one outlet at a time. So what I could do here is this particular site here is set to go to Facebook Live and YouTube. And if I wanted to add another platform like Twitch or Ustream or whatever, I could add all of this here. And I think I can go up to about 4 or 5 places at one time. And then what I would do is this information here, the stream source setup, I will copy. This is my stream URL that I just got through talking about. I would copy that. Then where it says custom streaming service again that we just came, I'll put my streaming URL here. Didn't copy it, so let's go back. Then my streaming key. So I won't have to search so far here. Copy my streaming key and go here. Then I can put that there, and I don't really have to have a URL. I don't believe for that. Oh, it is required. So let's do. I don't know if I have a URL. Let's see. Just so I can throw something up there. Okay, so it's not liking my URL. But once I if I had an actual URL that I'm streaming to, once I hit that and hit go live, I will see that information, that Zoom screen here. See, it's waiting for my stream. Once I put that information in there, put my URL in, I hit go live, I see the information here. This information is then mirrored by Caster to all of these sites here. So I won't have to go in and do each one individually. Once I put it in here, I can set this up ahead of time, and it will broadcast to all 5 of these sites that I set up ahead of time. Okay, so again, you have a couple different ways that you could do it. Actually, 3, we can go live on Facebook. Once you log into Facebook, sign it to whatever page or group that you want. Go to YouTube, pretty much the same way. Log in to YouTube, whatever channel or group page that you have, and hit streaming there. Or you can go to a custom service, again, like Caster or Restream or whatever you want to use, enter your streaming URL information that they give you, streaming key and the live streaming page, and then go from there. And then when you hit live, it should go there. So there's really not a lot complicated about it. So you just want to make sure that you decide which platform you want to use. And if you're going to use custom, so you can meet more than one, you want to have that set up ahead of time so that all of that information will be there, and you'll be able to test and practice as you need. That's a lot of information. That's why this was a heavy session. So so you do have these type of options to do all of that. Let's see if we got any questions. I'm confused about the URL. What is a streaming URL? Good. Good question. So let's go back here. So that is kind of confusing. I can see where you get lost on that. So you have, let me go back to that Facebook page so you can see here, if we go up here. Okay, so when you think of a streaming URL, the URL piece make you think of the www dot domain, but the streaming URL is actually the address of their live streaming server, that you're going to be pointing to. Okay, so this address right here is pretty much the standard address for YouTube. And there's another one for Facebook. See if I can pull it up really quick. Make sure I'm not streaming, because that's going to slow my machine down. So if you look here, server URL, this is pretty much the basic live address for Facebook Live. And the difference between my account, your account, her account is the streaming key. That's why you want to kind of keep that private, so somebody can, if they really wanted to, get your streaming key and do something malicious on your channel or whatever. So that's why you see on YouTube they have it hidden, where it can't be seen, or you can reset it. So your URL is just basically the address of your live streaming server, and the key can be thinking of is your personal account information or your password that allows you to access to that streaming server piece. Did I get you a question there? Live streaming URL if you are using Caster. So the piece that that we got stuck on. Let's see if I can go back. Caster right here. Caster doesn't ask you for that. So the that was Zoom asking me for that. So if I go back and put that in, I should be able to type in the live link on this, and I need to check on this some more, because I should be able to put a web page in there and it sends it there, because this streaming URL here it should be enough, but that didn't work for me. So let's try it one more time, just to see if I can get it going. So cast here. Hopefully let me do it, because I got this pointing somewhere else. And caster. Let's do one more. Yeah, it's not letting me get there. I'll tell you what, let's do this. One more second. I'm just going to play. Turn this on just for a second. Just to copy this. Okay. So it's asking for my live link. So what I did, Dalton, is I just faked it out and just went to YouTube, because I know I have, on Facebook, I know I have a particular link to do it on Facebook. So on your YouTube channel, it would be, I'll show you where to get that at, whatever platform you're using. But if you're using Facebook, you just put that there. And that's going to sync up. And then when I go to Caster should eventually, in a few seconds, start seeing this stream from Zoom. Like, again, it takes a few seconds for it to get there and everything. So I guess it's still working. All right, any more questions? And then Dalton, I'll keep working on that. I mean, you can get together one-on-one and play around with that. But eventually that's going to start showing there. So again, in Caster, you're going to copy this information here and put this into your other server page like we did. And then you want to hit here add platform, and then add the platform that you want. Get your streaming information from that platform, put into here. See here again, streaming server, streaming key, hit save, make a whole list here on your dashboard. And then when you go streaming in Zoom, it's going to show up here, and then rebroadcast. It's going to mirror it, rebroadcast to all of these particular sites. Any further questions? I know that's a lot of information, but I hope it been some help to you. So if you have any questions, or you want to practice some more, or you want me to help you practice, send us an email or let us know, or give us a call, and we'll do what I can to help get you going on that. And there is one more thing. If you want to view recordings of these sessions, edu/, I'm gonna put this in the chat section for you. There is a training, there's a page where all of these type of events are recorded and held. So it's uncp.edu/DOIT, and I'm gonna put this in the chat session and leave that up, and then you can bookmark that page, and it'll have a list of all these recordings and also some short videos that we have done. All right, I'm not going to hold you up any further. Thanks again for joining us for Tech Tuesday. And if you need anything else, just feel free to give us a call or email, and we'll do our best. Y'all have a wonderful day.